What's up, summoners, and welcome back to another ProGuides Wild Rift video. My name is Kirk, and for today's video we are going to talk about Brand, his probably best rune setup, items, and positions he can be played in. It will be similar to the recently released video about Nunu, so if you haven't watched it already, do so now. Like the last video, let's get going with the abilities first. Brand's passive is called Blaze. Brand spells light his target ablaze, dealing a percentage of their maximum HP and magic damage over time. Additionally, setting targets ablaze empowers his abilities against them. If Brand kills an enemy that is already ablaze, he restores mana and blaze stacks up to 3 times. When blaze reaches max stacks on a champion or large monster, the blaze becomes unstable. It detonates after 2 seconds, dealing magic damage to each nearby enemy. And to make it less OP, the same monster or champion cannot stack blaze again for 4 seconds. For his first ability, Brand launches a fireball forward that deals magic damage to the first enemy it hits. If the target is ablaze, they are briefly stunned. Upon casting his second ability, Pillar of Flame, after a short delay, Brand blasts the target area, dealing magic damage to the enemy units within the area. If the target is ablaze in this case, they'll take increased damage by the Pillar of Flame. Overall, it sounds like a good tool to clear waves and force the enemy to keep some serious distance from you until this is on cooldown. With his third ability, Brand conjures an instant blast at his target, dealing magic damage to it and spreading to nearby enemies. If the target is ablaze, Conflagration's spread range is greatly increased. Taking this spell's obnoxious range into account, getting continuously poked by Brand is something that becomes natural. Especially in teamfight situations, he may spread his fire and deal obscene amount of damage to the enemy team. But for that, we also have to take a look at his last ability. Pyroclasm is Brand's ultimate spell, and by using it, Brand unleashes a devastating torrent of fire, dealing magic damage each time it bounces. Now, can you imagine how scary it will be to teamfight against a Brand? He'll just throw all his spells into a teamfight and you may live to tell the tale, but this cannot be guaranteed. And before we continue with the video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, check out our Discord in the description below. We have a very active community that welcomes new players with open arms and organizes community events on the regular. So just come by and see for yourself. For his build, you want to take Conqueror, Brutal or Weakness, Hunter Titan or Adaptive Carapace, and mostly Sweet Tooth. Item-wise, we want to go Luden's Echo, Lucidity Boots with an enchantment that fits the game's pace, Rabadon's Death Cap, Void Staff, Infinity Orb, and only then build a Liandry's Torment. Compared to the PC version, Liandry's unique passive is very weak in Wild Rift. Ability damage deals 1% of the target's maximum health in magic damage over 3 seconds. That's like nothing. This damage doubles if they're slowed, stunned or immobilized. At least something. However, the only real reason why we like this item is the fact that it synergizes very well with your kit. Otherwise, it doesn't even compare to the potency of the PC version as an item. Just take a look at it. The same applies also to Rylaze as an item. Wild Rift's Rylaze features a way weaker slow effect than the PC version, and therefore it's not as optimal as people might make it out to be. Now with the items out of the way, it's time to look at where this fella might be played at. But before we look into that though, it's time for our question of the day. Where do you think is Brand going to be played the most? Let us know in the comments below. In theory, we might see him in mid lane, jungle and dragon lane. For Dragon Lane, he can be either played with a Senna or just a normal tank support. As long as he can sustain mana-wise, he's going to be fine and may infinitely clear waves. The same applies also for the middle lane, as his wave clear is going to be rather decent, if I may say so. But the most interesting part is the option of seeing him in the jungle. In the PC version, there has been an extended period of time in which he was actually broken in the jungle role, as his clear was insanely fast. For Wild Rift though, it might be a bit different due to ranged champions not having access to cleaving auto attacks. However, thanks to the way Brand spells work, there might be a chance to see him in the jungle role. Next up are his strengths and weaknesses. For strengths, we have an insane teamfight, wave clear and overall damage output throughout the game. Similar to Ziggs, the enemy team needs to be super careful when they think about doing any objective. However, Ziggs can remain safe by staying far away from the fight itself, whereas Brand has to expose himself to mostly certain death when he wants to unleash the flames. Other than that though, doing so will lead to a lot of explosions and imminent doom for the enemy team. Now let's speak about his weaknesses. The most obvious one is his lack of mobility. He might have a hard time escaping from skirmishes and entering them without committing his flash. In addition to that, since 2 of his spells are skill shots, it might be hard to hit them in a lot of cases, which would result in a lot of damage being lost. So if you're thinking about playing Brand, you're not allowed to be afraid of fist fighting. You need to fight the enemy head on. Your champion might even suicide to get the job done. For example, the enemy is doing Nashor and they're all stacked up. What can you do? Use the plant or flash into the pit and blast them with all your spells and see the world burn. Literally. And with that, we're also at the end of today's video. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel to never miss anything ProGuides again. See you soon for more Wild Rift.